recommend the short film The Chair. It's about our main character Reese, who brings home a chair he found laying at the side of the road. But when Reese finds out that there's a dark entity attached to the chair, things turn deadly, and Reese slowly starts to lose his mind. When Reese brings home a dusty old chair he found sitting on the side of the road, his girlfriend Julie is not so thrilled. As they argue, he takes a seat in the chair. She tells him to put it back, and just as Reese is about to do it, it's like time skips and he wakes up a week later sitting on the chair in the exact place he found it. This sudden time skip freaks him out so much that he's convinced the chair had something to do with it. It's why he doesn't take the chair back home with him. So when Julie comes back home to surprise Reese with the exact chair he just threw out and left at the side of the road, he freaks out. That chair is bad news, but now Julie no longer thinks so. This time when they argue, Julie takes a seat on the chair. And suddenly, all this back and forth with Reese is pushing her to her limit. In the past week, Reese had gotten fired from his job, was being racist, and even threatened to kill his friend Fence. But Reese doesn't remember doing any of this. In fact, he has no recollection of what he did that entire week. Julie says that if Reese doesn't make changes soon, she's gonna leave him. That night, they place the chair in their bedroom, and Reese wakes up to find an old man sitting on the chair. At first, Reese thinks he's losing his mind. That's until Julie tells him that she can see the ghost too. His name is Deadman Franklin, and he comes with the chair. Deadman Franklin doesn't know why Reese keeps forgetting about him, but Julie explains that it's not Reese's fault. Reese is dying of Alzheimer's, and he doesn't even know it. That's when things change. Deadman Franklin disappears, Julie's mood simmers, and she has no idea what Reese is talking about. It's almost like Reese imagined the entire conversation. He asks Julie if he's sick, and even though she admits she thinks he is, she doesn't know what his ailment could be. Suddenly, her mood fluctuates rapidly. She goes from wanting to break up with him to coddling him with words in the span of a few seconds, and before he can even question it, she heads into the other room. And as if Reese's life can't get any worse, the police show up at the same time that he uncovers a dead body in his house. This dead body just so happens to be his friend Fence, the very same friend he threatened earlier. And the police are looking for him. Quickly, he hides the body as the police search his house, and as the police question him, one of them sits down in the chair despite Reese telling him not to. It's not long before the policeman is consumed with the chair's negative energy, and he pulls a gun on Reese. Thankfully, his partner distracts him by reminding him that they are supposed to be searching the house for Fence's body. And as they head into one room, Reese drags the dead body into the washroom. Luckily, he wasn't caught, but the police still don't think he's innocent. The policeman demands to see the body, claiming he knows it's in the washroom. But before Reese can even decide what to do next, the policeman shoots himself in the chest. His partner freaks out, pulling his gun on Reese as Julie, Deadman Franklin, and Fence all walk out of the washroom covered in blood. Deadman Franklin waves goodbye, and that's when Reese snaps out of it. Everything is suddenly back to normal, but there's something off. Reese is holding a hammer, and there's blood all over him. A month has passed, but that's not the worst part. Sitting in the center of the room are the dead bodies of all the people he's killed. His girlfriend Julie, the policeman, and his friend Fence, and Deadman Franklin is standing over them. There are multiple ways to view this film. Either everyone Reese encounters are simply delusions, and he's not actually killing them physically, but more so the Alzheimer's is killing off the memory of them. In the end, when everyone dies, presumably at the hands of Reese, maybe it represents all the relationships that have been killed off because of his disease. The flowers represent the passage of time that Reese's Alzheimer's went untreated and undetected. Deadman Franklin doesn't appear until Reese comes by to pick up the chair, showing that this is the moment his delusions really started to amplify. Perhaps Deadman Franklin isn't a ghost, but he represents Reese's mind as it's slowly being taken over by the disease.